Pearson. I am a senior student graphic designer and illustrator. My specializations are character illustration and product design. The types of products that I really like to design for are anything from apparel, toys, and even skateboards, which we're about to get into. I'm from Milton, Florida, and I've been illustrating for over 10 years digitally, but for my whole life traditionally. So let's get into it. So for Project Brief, this is actually a combination project. This is my OUR undergraduate research project, but also my synthesis, which is the senior exit show. So it is a skate brand called Off Leash. The main idea behind Off Leash is exploring the concept of duality. I like to joke when I try to describe it to people as Hello Kitty meets Rat Fink. It's supposed to be very cute, but also kind of full of rage. This idea was inspired a lot by how I felt growing up in the skate scene as a kid. There was kind of a lot of disparity and like really gendered designs for skates, like and skateboarding stuff. You would either get like flowers or skulls, and people would make fun of your flower board. Nobody would think each other's stuff was cool, and you're often put down for being a girl. I really want to get rid of that kind of disparity and make something that everyone enjoys and can relate to. So for my idea phase, I kind of knew from the start that I did want this to be a mascot brand, like the other properties that I mentioned. So I had the idea for a toy dog breed, which I did experiment with a Chihuahua a little bit, but I immediately went to Pomeranian for that really explosive form because they're known to be cute but also very tenacious. Um, but yeah, I feel like having a mascot like this makes the brand feel a lot more inviting and comfortable. And of course, it opens a lot of branding opportunities. He is very easy to slap onto t shirts, skateboard decks, even wheels, whatever you want to put them on. So, the brand logo, I developed it pretty quickly. I wanted to show motion and speed, so I went with an italicized font. I chose tall, tight-fitting letters because I tried to keep how it would look on a skateboard deck in mind. The name itself comes from the concepts behind the brand and the mascot, which is showing kind of a duality between like domesticity but also like a wild and ferocious nature. The brand colors are mostly based on the colors that kind of intuitively came to me for the mascot, but they do show a lot of contrast. I wanted it to be vivid and eye catching, but also simple enough to recognize and relate to the brand. So for my illustrations for the deck designs, I have this full body design and then one that was just explicitly designed for the deck. There's no full version of it, it's just cut off, that's the vertical board. They were both designed with deck orientation in mind, but the full design of Pom Pom on the skateboard, I designed that with merchandise in mind. Like I wanted to do stickers or like put him on a shirt or a bag. But I kind of chose both sides of the spectrum when it came to personalities to fully represent what this brand's all about. And I wanted to also kind of create a coherent look with the line weighting and like detailing between both, even though they are like kind of intentionally a different style. So the little wall mock-up you see is specifically for my synthesis project. It helped me, I kind of designed them all together before I finalized the individual designs. So for process, I was originally going to do classic printing and like vinyl techniques, what you would usually expect with skateboards. But my instructor Richard suggested I try laser engraving them, and I'm really happy that I went with this decision. I feel like this technique really gives the boards a unique depth and look, and learning a new process from the ground up really benefited the OUR research aspect of this project. Um, and as I was doing research on how exactly to pull this off, I found a few local artists who actually use this technique, Zoogers and Bear Walker. But I ended up testing small designs before scaling up the illustrations and like seeing especially how this full body design would crop to the deck. And but like I said before, these illustrations were designed specifically with this process in mind because I started the sketches, found out what I was going to do, and went back. So I had to make sure that the lines were compatible with the type of like rastering that we would need to do to get a clean laser engraving. So finalization, just general cleanup, and then the wood staining, which I applied by hand using like sponges and paintbrushes. This is where like the concept of like design hierarchy really comes through with the way that the brand colors are implemented. The horizontal, like more simple board is pure yellow, then the reds and accent, kind of creating a focal point toward the middle of the board. Um, and then the big vertical design that's really detailed. I really wanted to kind of create an environment using the color and have yellow, be the color that really makes the character itself stand out, and further kind of build those associations with, oh, Pom Pom is yellow, Off Leash is yellow. So this is my final arrangement for my exhibition for Synthesis, which obviously it's a lot different from my mock-up, but not too off that model. So I decided to keep things really simple. Like as you can see, there's pretty minimal wall graphics. I just did my brand tagline to kind of further show that personality, but also tie in the elements of the brand name and the little like sticker shelf underneath. The boards themselves are a little bit offset from each other to kind of give the designs room to breathe and build hierarchy. I put the vertical design next to the most plain design, which is my grip tape with the logo cut out, and the logo above the horizontal kind of illustration board of Pom Pom to kind of apply a label to this whole wall, like have everyone know up front this is Off Leash brand. The wall mounts themselves were 3D printed using a free print file. And like I said before, we were able to make stickers of both designs. Really interestingly, the vertical design ended up being a perfect tech deck wrap. So we have Pom Pom mini skateboards as well. But I really do feel like the stickers were a great simple addition to this exhibition because people were able to kind of take a little piece of the brand with them, and I just see this little guy spreading around already. So for closing thoughts, I learned a lot about designing specifically for production through this project, as well as just creating a feeling of continuity through design, making sure everything's coherent, looks like it belongs to the same brand. I feel like my designs and overall exhibition were successful. I ended up appealing to the exact audiences that I set out with in mind, which, like the typical skater bro crowd, but also women and people who don't really skate but really like to collect and they enjoy cool art and cute animals. And I really enjoyed kind of uniting those two communities, which I belong to both. The stickers, like I said, were super popular. which makes me feel like my mascot was well received and very popular. um, I do plan on continuing working on this brand, so I guess keep an eye out for more Off Leash and Pom Pom in the future. And thanks for watching.